it's Chantel. Today I want to go over the Malibu Command Center. It's a super easy system to use. I want to run both through the 12-inch touchscreen, the smaller 7-inch touchscreen, and then go over a little bit of the Sport Dash, just to give you an idea of what the system can do and how you can use it on the water. Off to the right hand side, we have a power button and a start-stop button. The power button is what is going to turn on the whole system. It can take up to 30 seconds to load up, so you'll push that and everything will start loading up right away. There are two touch screens. There's the big 12-inch touchscreen that is more rider and driver preferences and controls. And then there's the smaller touchscreen that's more lighting and heater and stereo, more the ambiance, what's going on inside the boat. So anytime the system uploads, it will ask you if you have watched the watercraft safety video and read the owner's manual. You can either watch the video or push OK. Then this screen, there are 4 screens that I can toggle through. Up at the top here, this first screen is a great cruising screen. It's going to show me my air temperature, my water temperature, and my depth. I've also got my miles per hour here and my RPMs, and then it'll tell me here as well how fast I'm going. Right now I'm going 0 miles per hour, but as I get faster, that will go up as well. The next screen over is my ballast screen. So it shows me my 4 hard ballast tanks. I can hit fill all, drain all, stop all where they are. I can pick some up and hit fill. And when I just pick them up and hit fill, that's like turning on a toggle switch. It'll continue to fill until I shut it off, until I say stop or drain. And then if I hit wake view, this is a great place to see what the wedge is doing for the wake. So if you want something that's a steeper, rampier wake, you're going to be more in this zone. If you like something that's less steep and rampy, you're going to be over here. If you have somebody really little that you're teaching and you want as small and manageable wake as possible, you could put the wedge in lift mode and it's going to give you negative 500 pounds of ballast. You don't have to drain anything inside the boat, and it's going to make it a much more manageable wake for somebody who's smaller or who's a beginner. And then I can go back to boat view and see my bird's eye view of the ballast tanks. I also in this screen can control my cruise control. So I just hit on and now my speed is ready. Once my throttle goes down, I'm set at 19.8. I can adjust that here up and down, and I can just turn that on and off. Once I get about up to 19.8, it'll beep at me, it'll take over, and then I don't have to touch my throttle again. The next screen over here is the rider presets. So they start you with 6 from the factory. I've got go home, wakeboard beginner, intermediate, advanced, surf left, and surf right. So if I'm out on the water and I want to surf on the right hand side, I could pick up surf right and hit load. That's going to do a few things for me. It starts filling all of my ballast tanks, so you can see they're all filling. Anytime something is spinning like that, that means it's working. So they say 0% full, and they're going to go in increments of 25. So it'll say 0%, 25%, 50, 75, 100%. Because I used a preset and it's set to put them at 100%, once it gets to 100, it'll overflow a little bit out the sides, and then it will shut itself off. As opposed to when I just hit fill all, then I would need to turn them off on my own. But the preset, it will fill them to 100 and then shut themselves off. I can hit stop all there. It puts my surf gate, so I'm surfing on the right hand side. See how it says ready? That means it's not extended yet, and it won't until I'm going faster than 7 miles per hour. The reason for that is they don't want it to impede how the boat handles when you're idling back to your rider. So when you pull off the throttle and you're idling back, it will close up and make it easier to manage the boat. Then once you start going again, it will extend itself out again. Once it extends, you'll feel a little bit of a shift on the wheel. You just have to compensate for that, and then you're just driving straight down the water again. It also turned my speed control on and set it at 10.6 miles per hour. It brought my wedge down, and then I can adjust the speed here really easily. My rider can adjust it using the surf band, but this is what the factory says is the best wake for surf right, and then you can make adjustments. So say you started with surf right, you've made adjustments, you like the wedge in a different position, you like a little bit less ballast, or maybe your speed is a little bit different, then you can hit save. If you're like, that's my perfect wake, you hit save, go into the presets, and it's going to create a boat snapshot that then you can edit and rename it. So I've already named one Chantel Surf. Next time I go out, I just pick that one up, hit load, and then it's going to get the boat ready to go how I like it. The cool thing about this, you can start from scratch, or so you can just hit new and start from scratch, or you can take one of the set ones from the manufacturer and edit it and rename it, change some things, and make it yours. They give you up to 200 slots in here. I don't know why you'd want that many, but you definitely could add that many. But you could have one for everybody in your family for each sport that they like, and then next time the wake's going to be the same. The media screen here, this boat does not have the backup camera, but if you had the backup camera option, there would be a button for that as well, rear view camera, where you could push that one and it would pop up a screen that you can see what's going on back behind the boat. You also have a PDF version of your user manual, some care and maintenance, your engine manual. And then you've got that watercraft safety video that they recommend that you watch. We added these videos in, how to get started on a wake surfboard, so you could have somebody watch that before they get going. In your corners, we've got depth is here, and that will, obviously change, but that's going to be up there in the upper left-hand corner. Night vision, you can dim the screen a little bit and make it a little bit easier to see at night when it's darker. You've got a quick go home preset, which is also in your preset screen. It's the first one there that you can hit load, or you have quick access to it right there. What that's going to do is dump all of our ballast. It will bring my wedge almost all the way up. You can see how it didn't come all the way into my stow position. The reason for that, Malibu wants the boat to be moving before the wedge comes all the way up into stow. They don't want people swimming around back there. They don't want fingers and toes next to the wedge while it comes up and locks back into place. So as soon as I go into gear and I'm going faster than 1.5 miles per hour or so, it'll pop up with a warning and say caution wedge moving, and it will go back up into that stowed position. And this is taking a second, but I think I can make that happen. And now it's in the stowed and locked position. We also have a docking mode, which is a throttle reducer. So it's great as you're kind of getting used to the boat and how it handles at idle speed. You still have power in the boat, but it's not going to, the RPMs are going to get higher, slower. So idle is the same, but you're not going to accidentally gun the throttle as easy as you would when it's in its more aggressive mode. At the bottom of the screen here, we've got our engine temperature, oil pressure, the battery voltage, and my fuel level. And then I also have this little button here. Right now it says 0 off. If I push that, our cruise control gives me two options. I can have the 0 off GPS cruise control. That's great when I'm on a lake and I don't have anything impeding how fast I'm going, like a current. The paddle wheel is great when you're on a river. It's going to account for the current in the water, and it'll be a little more accurate on your speed control. So you ideally wouldn't have to change it, or not much, when you're going upriver versus downriver. Down here we have the controls. We have the blower that I can turn on and off. We have an aft and a forward bilge. The bilge pumps are automatic, and if they turn on, it will let you know on the screen, but if you have a ton of water coming in the boat for some reason, you can turn them on manually as well. Maybe you have a bunch of wet kids and soaking wet life jackets and they're just dumping water, you could turn those on. This boat is equipped with a driver's seat heater, which I would just turn on there, as well as heater outlets, and that's an option that you can get. We also have underwater lights, which I would turn on that way, docking lights. I can have the regular docking lights. I can also turn them on brighter and then turn them off. I've got my interior and my storage lights, anchor and navigation lights. I also have my volume control for my stereo here. Right now it's on main volume, and that's everything. That's tower speakers, boat speakers, everything. If I push it again, now that's just interior volume. So when I change my volume control, I'm just changing the interior. If I push it again, Now I'm just changing tower speakers. Maybe our rider wants it louder, but we want it a little less loud in the boat. We've got zone control right here. And then one more time, that's back to main volume. That's everything. My stereo, right now it's powered off. To power it on, takes just a second. Power button there. This is compatible from the factory with Bluetooth, auxiliary USB. You can get a Sirius XM puck if you'd like, an AM FM radio, and the weather channel. When I go into Bluetooth, I hit pair. It tells me the Bluetooth name. That's what I'm going to look for. I have been connected before, so I could pick that up. I can rename my Bluetooth if I want to whatever my boat name is or whatever I want it to be. In the Bluetooth, I also have my mixer where I can adjust what's called auto volume. What that will do is as the RPMs of the boat get higher, the stereo volume will get louder, so I'm not constantly changing my stereo volume. When I pull off the throttle, it will turn the music down. When I go faster, it will turn it back up. I can also adjust my zone controls in here as well as the subwoofer. I've also got my EQ. That's where you can adjust your bass, treble, your balance, your subwoofer, all of those things. You can do some more minute changes to the stereo. Back to my switch screen, I've got my settings. Most of what you find in here is going to be things that your service department or your dealership will do, but you can make some adjustments. So this is where we would turn on any kind of lighting that you have. This is where we'll see the engine diagnostics. You've got, this will pop up, so between 10 and 20 hours, it's going to pop it up and say, hey, you need a service, and right now, no service needed. It's just letting me know at what level I need to do services. And this is a little more in-depth probably than you would ever need to get, but if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments and I can do a little more in-depth feature or info on the settings. You also have the option for maps. This boat isn't equipped with the GPS puck that you would need for the maps, but if you did want it, you would just order that from the factory and then you'd get an SD card for whatever lakes or whatever area of the country you're using, and then you would plug that in and then it would work on this screen as well. This is the Sport Dash. Everything you can do on the Sport Dash controls, you can do on the touch screen. This is just more of quick controls. So while you're running and you don't want to have to change through the touch screen, you can use here. You can do surf right or left, so you can adjust which side you're surfing on. You can do the power wedge up and down. You can push the knob up and it will change the speed, so by 0.1 mile per hour. I can do the knob this way or this way to do next track or back a track on the stereo. I can turn up the volume and down the volume using that knob, and I have a quick mute button. So if you pull up and you want to talk to somebody, you can mute the stereo and then turn it back on. You've also got a phone holder here. You can just slide your phone in and it's going to hinge and actually hold it nice and snug in there. Down below the Sport Dash, that's where I've got my horn. And then there is a USB port right here. This is where we do factory updates. So anytime the system needs an update, that's where I would do it. I wouldn't charge a phone here just because you don't want the system to be looking for an update and it could freeze or it can do something funky to the system. So don't use this one to charge a phone. That's going to be just for updates or if you ever wanted to upload a PDF or a video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the Command Center, the touch screens, any of the functions of it, let me know in the comments and I will get back to you. See you next time.